I would rather be outside in the heat than sitting in a desk. That's why I quit my job yesterday to do this full time.
I love it when I see young people want to do something like this. You know, they don't want to do the 9-to-5 grind. They want to be their own boss, and I am all for that.
Anything a man can do, I can do. It may take me a little bit longer to do it, but I can do it. You know, I'm not as strong, but I can get there.
One of my fellow lawn community people called me on the phone a few weeks ago. Jack, I've had 2 weed eaters go down. Do you know? And I said, hey, I've got an extra. Just come by and get it. I tell you what, it's been great. You go around like we do now, some of our properties we take care of. It's the satisfaction and the pride in what you're doing, and it's just been real exciting for us.
Yeah, and you look at it with pride. You think, especially when you have one that's perfectly manicured, it's like, I did that. You know, God gave me that grass to mow. I just painted the picture.
OKLApreneur is made possible with the generous help of...
We are Oklahoma's electric cooperatives, powering the needs of new generations with safe, affordable, reliable, and environmentally responsible power.
For a lot of us, mowing just one lawn can take an entire afternoon, and then, you got to stand back and admire all of your work. Then there are folks all across our great state that make a career out of taking lawn care to the next level. This week, we introduce you to 2 OKLApreneurs from Pryor, Oklahoma, who started out small, cutting just one lawn, and grew into one of the busiest mowing companies in Mayes County. Let's start out by introducing you to Jack Bush of Bushwhackers, LLC.
We started 8 years ago here in Pryor with a couple of mowers, with just a mower, just a regular Murray riding mower, a cheap weed eater, and a push mower, and a small trailer. Matter of fact, it was this small trailer. For a couple of ladies in our church, and word got out, and we've expanded since. Now we don't have the fourth one here, but we do have 4 John Deere zero turns. And we're running anywhere between 50 and 60 customers right now here in the Mayes County area.
How long did it take before other people heard, well, they're doing lawns?
It took about 2 weeks. I mean, that's how fast it happened. And we went from 2, then we got like 4 or 5 more, and then pretty soon I think our first year we were doing about 13 or 14. And we'd started like in May, and it had just grown. And I was trying to do them and work full time, and she was, Stephanie was helping me, my wife, and we didn't even contemplate that we were going to be doing this on the way we're doing it now.
That first year, Jack and Stephanie started out with just one lawn, and then they took on another and another until they reached almost 15 lawns. And they did so primarily by word of mouth, and then eventually social media. Of course, year 2 came along where they had to make the choice in the fork of the road, which way would they go? When, say, April came around, did you say, hey, why don't we try that again? Or did you think, what were we doing?
We were at the time looking for we were looking for a zero turn. Yeah. As a matter of fact, the property we're standing on now was one of those, probably need to get a zero turn instead of the lawn tractor. Just the cut quality, it looks a lot better with a zero turn, and and in time. And timing is everything in this business. Because if you have several lawns like we do, several other properties, you need to get on those properties and get off those properties in a timely manner.
Whenever you look at a property, do you say, yeah, we can do this one in an hour, or how do you assess that?
Really, it comes over time. I can look at a property now, I can drive by a property now. I don't even have to get out of the vehicle, but it just takes time and experience. Our first couple of years, we were shortchanging ourselves on prices, and we were doing $20 lawns. We were taking anything we could get just to do it and get, have that extra income coming in. And now, we have a set price. and we have, we know a small what a small yard's going to bring, medium-sized yard. If the yard is sitting on a corner, we know that this is going to bring a little extra because you're going to have extra grass. We look at things like edging. We look at things like weed eating. Are we going to have to do any other, anything else to the property? Those are some of the things we look at.
When did you say, wow, that was a lot of work for 20 bucks?
You quickly find out. You mow a property and you think, oh my, this is worth more than this amount, and that's when you start figuring out what it cost. Today we stopped and we filled up 2 mowers and 2 gas cans. It was $74, and you think, okay, how many lawns? If I was doing these for 20 bucks, you're going to have to do 3 lawns, and you're still not going to get to that $74 mark. That's where you learn, and that's part of the education, and that's where, as I've said before, when you're talking to other lawn care people, what do you think? Do you think this is worth $30, $40? When I say $30, that helps.
Yeah.
And usually here in Pryor, most of our small properties and all that, we all do them for around $40. As you get more money in, you save that money up and then upgrade your equipment. It just the cut quality, the trim quality, and one of the things you'll learn is blades. You'll learn line. You'll learn what oil to use, and that helps. And it's a learning process. I also tell people that want to get into this business, go online, listen to podcasts, talk to your local lawn guys. A lot of them are real helpful. We're lucky we're here in Pryor that we have several of our lawn folks that do this on a full-time basis, even on a part-time basis, that they will talk to you and guide you in the way you would want to go. But you need to do several properties, and you need to be able to get on those properties, get off those properties.
Yep. Time is money.
Yes, time is money, and it helps too when we have properties that are close together, and if you've got next door to each other, you might be able to cut them or break a little bit, and then sometimes that cutting them or break, well, you'll get 3 there in that area, and we've done them that way before. But we'll sometimes cut people breaks if a little price break if they've got 2 or 3 lawns there together.
Whenever you built your company, it's an LLC. Why did you take the LLC route as opposed to just, I'm gonna, the money's going into my pocket, everything will be great? There are reasons why someone should do an LLC.
Well, your company is protected. If something were to happen, you put a rock through a piece of glass and it hits somebody, or you have a tire blowout and the trailer hits another car. Yep. You are protected on an LLC. They'll sue they could sue the company. They won't sue you. Right. We also carry insurance, and that's a big thing. And that's one of those expenses people don't look at when they hire a mowing company, but most of us carry insurance. And if you want a commercial, if you're interested in doing commercial properties, you need to be incorporated in some kind of way, and you also need to carry insurance. And it's just better for all around.
Now, Jack is just one half of Bushwhackers. His wife Stephanie is the other half of this lawn care team.
It's labor intensive if it's not what you really want to do. But if it's something that you enjoy, you don't think about how hard it is. It's not work. It's therapy. Both of us working full-time jobs. I told him, well, I had one day about 2 months ago, or a month and a half ago, that I would work from 6:30 in the morning until 3 in the afternoon. I would go home, change clothes, load up the trailer, and go start mowing until dark. I had trouble. I couldn't get the blower to work. I couldn't get the weed eater to work. I told him, I said, we're either going to have to get me some equipment that I can use, or you're going to have to teach me how to use the equipment that we have, which he did. But I said, I'm tired and I'm stressed. Finally, I told him, I said, you're going to have to start telling people no. I said, we can't take on anymore unless I go full time.
The stress of running a small business and growing a client list all around Mayes County was mounting. And that's when Stephanie found her answer.
Something came over me and I literally bawled. I cried my eyes out and I said, God, you're going to have to tell me what to do. I don't know. You know, you've got to show me what to do. And I opened my Bible in Matthew 16 and the verse about the parable of the mustard seed. And I was like, there it is. I turned back 3 chapters and there was the mustard seed in chapter 13 of the mustard seed that turns into the great big tree. You know, it turns into the biggest tree of all. And that was my answer. And I felt at peace. And I called Jack and I said, I'm going to do it. Because he had told me, whenever you want to, do it. You know, he said, you have my support 110%. Here's the parable of the mustard seed. Have the faith. You know, you already know what the beginning looks like. You've had 8 years of a beginning. You have to step out on faith and trust me. And so I basically put legs on my prayers, and Monday morning I went in and I gave my 2-week notice. It felt right. And you know, some people they do it because the numbers look good and everything. But for me, it was more about faith than numbers.
Every person with a dream of starting their own business will have to make that same decision. When to take their part-time gig and turn it into a full-time career. That's why I love to ask every OKLApreneur, what advice do you have for someone starting a business in our great state?
If you're going to go into a business, go into it with a business mind. The business has to be separate from your personal, you know, because you're going to have to invest your personal self into your business. And you're going to be a few years before you see profit. And when you don't have profit right away, don't get discouraged, because it'll happen, but it takes time. But by doing it yourself from beginning to end, you're going to appreciate it a whole lot more than if it was given to you. And I know that from experience.
But I'm all for people coming out and doing it. There's plenty of work out here. And that's what I tell people. There's plenty of work, and you know, get after it. And I'm all for people, you know, doing this stuff. And we don't see enough of it in the green industry. And there's a term I thought I'd never use. But you know, education, you know, learn about it. You know, get out there, take on a few lawns. You know, if you want to, you know, get you a hedge trimmer, trim a few hedges, and you know, people will come to you.
Don't just do it thinking, oh, I'll do this for a few months. If you're going to do it, go big or go home. You need to go all in. You know, you can't just think, oh, I'm gonna do it for a year. And because if you think of it that way, that's all you're gonna do it for, is for a year. But if you start it as a business with the intent that I'm going to grow my business, then you will grow.
Thank you, Jack and Stephanie Bush of Bushwhackers in Pryor, for sharing with us what you've learned over the past 8 years when it comes to building a lawn care business in our great state. And of course, thank you to the Oklahoma Association of Electric Cooperatives for your continued support of OKLApreneur and the creation of small businesses in Oklahoma. To see past episodes or for helpful links to starting a business in Oklahoma, visit OKLApreneur.com. We'll see you next time, and remember, let's get down to business, Oklahoma.